Okay. Okay. Okay, today is, what is today's date anyways?
Today's the 15th.
15th, that's, okay. This is November 15th, and we are meeting, this is the Council on Aging, and we are meeting in the Dudley Municipal Complex Veterans Memorial Hall, 321. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's see, now we will have attendance. Janice Brady, present. Kathy Cormier is absent today. Carmela DeAmbro.
Present.
Cheryl Layden.
Present.
Charlie Marlborough.
Present.
Okay, and Stephen is here today too. And also, this is we might as well. This is Debbie Johnson, and she is the new director of Counseling of Aging, and I think if she can go over her not qualifications, but introduce herself.
So I'm the new Council of Aging Director. I've been a resident of Dudley for 45 years. We've raised 2 boys here. They all went to Shepherd Hill. And I'm very excited to help the elderly in our community and those with disabilities. I'm excited to work with Steve because we both do the same thing, as Stephen and I were talking. We do the same thing. He has more veteran ends, but still it's getting housing and heating and food stamps, whatever we can do to help people at this time of year. And it's a pretty tough year with all the costs of oil and heating and electric and food. So I'm very excited for this position, and I look forward to working with everyone. Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Yes, welcome, Deb.
And I know one thing though, she did state that she would try to come to all the meetings also, like she is today.
Wonderful.
That's
Wonderful.
great.
There may be times that she might not do, she may be involved with other things, but she will attend it when she can.
Yeah. So Chairman, she attended the Selectmen's meeting last Monday, and she spoke, and they appointed her as the Council of Aging Director. So she was very nice. She gave a nice, opening to her background and how happy she was, and about Dudley and everything.
Can you speak just a little bit louder? For some reason, that hum that's going
Okay.
on, and I can't hear too well aggressive.
So Deb Johnson, she attended this last Selectmen's meeting, which was last Monday, a week ago Monday, and she spoke about herself, and, they asked a few questions, and they appointed her as the Director of Council on Aging. I had to speak that night as well on a different subject, but we were there sitting together, and she got up and did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
So, welcome.
Well, congratulations.
We're so glad you're on board.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay, now we'll go over some of the old business. Bemis Nursery Workshop. We had to cancel this past Monday's workshop because we only had 5 people that signed up. And we did come to this conclusion that if you're going to sign up for the nursery, the workshop, if you could give us your telephone number, because there was no way I could. Some people there were signed up, and I didn't know was not able to contact them to tell them it was canceled.
Mm-hmm.
So this way here, we can make it part of the process is to give us your telephone number.
Mm-hmm.
And if you keep coming on a regular basis, we'll keep a list of the people's your telephone numbers, so you won't have
And
to.
maybe see if they have an email, if they use
Yeah.
email too.
Yeah.
It might be good to have like a list of all our contacts, every different.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's good.
Because like I say, there's no way I could contact the people that I didn't know personally with them, so. And we did cancel that one, however, The program in December is still on the record. So that is the surprise centerpiece that we're going to be having that one. It's a $15 workshop. So hopefully we'll have enough people. We need a minimum of 15 people, or 15 if, say, somebody orders 2 or 3 of the centerpieces or whatever that we're working on. If we have 15, then she'll come in. Otherwise, she was going to talk to, Tina from Bemis was going to talk to Webster, because she's talking about possibly with Webster coming here or us going there. And I think we had talked about it, Margaret had talked about it a while back, but nothing ever came up about it. So that was going to be coming
Well,
on.
that makes sense, if you're missing numbers, if you can coordinate the 2 towns.
Yeah.
Because they do that for meals anyway.
Yeah.
Sometimes Webster's here having their meals, and Dudley people go there, so that's a good idea. You know,
And also,
definitely.
and also for meals too, they have the same meals as we have
Yeah.
in Tri-Valley. We're also having the nutritionist on December 2nd, and she will be coming to, it's only about a 15-minute talk, and she's going to be coming after the meal is served, and kind of review nutritious meals cheap. She's even talked about she was going to bring some samples from even the Dollar Tree. They say you can, it's cheaper and you can make your nutritious meals for yourself out of that. So she's gonna, something to think about, okay? Batteries, that was, as we learned, that you didn't have to, your home batteries, such as your AA, AAA, everything, batteries like that, you can discard in your regular trash. They don't have the mercury in it that it used to have before. The only thing is the recyclable, the rechargeable ones need to be recycled. You can't throw them in the trash. And I know that Home Depot has bins in their stores to take your rechargeable ones. Like even if battery for your car or something like that, they'll take 2. But I think usually your repair stores for your cars take them back because they get money back from the company. And I'm sorry to say, I did not have time to call the licensed cosmetologist. Had you talked to her at all, Charlie?
What's that?
The licensed cosmetologist about the feet coming in and talking with us?
Oh, no. She's not a licensed cosmetologist.
No.
No, she doesn't do cosmetology per se. She does pedicures, manicures, facial care,
That's why
foot
you said she
care.
was licensed.
No. Well, she's licensed, but I don't
okay.
believe it's a cosmetology license.
Maybe it's a podiatrist?
No, she does. She's got some type of specialized
Is that Prestige?
Yes, it's
okay.
Lori.
Right. I met Lori at the Women's Club, and she talked to me about this also.
Oh, okay.
She wants to come in and
Yep.
try to get as many elderly like yourself, Stephen, and Art, to just talk about podiatry, taking
Yep.
care of your feet.
Yes.
And
And I did talk to her,
You did,
and
yeah.
I gave her your contact information, and they just opened up, the new place,
Sure,
so she
right.
was kind of busy. But she said she would be getting in touch with you soon, now that, they're open and
Running.
things are starting to run smoothly, because, just the whole move was, a
Right.
massive undertaking. So you should be hearing from her soon.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this is gonna be a short meeting today. Memory Cafe is Thursday, and Sandy Allen will be the entertainer for us. And in fact, this is the first time she will be here entertaining for us, so it'll be good. Be something different. She is a She works with woodwind instruments with background music, and And what is good, I talked to her when I was working with the polls, and she said that she's gonna go and talk to everybody and try to find out what everybody likes. So she sounds very good as far as has worked with the elderly and with dementia patients and Alzheimer's, so it works out well. I think it'll work out well with her to have her maybe once, twice a year for a change. So she will be entertaining us this coming Thursday during the Memory Cafe. And Thanksgiving lunch, we are gonna be having that on the 18th, and it's you have to, that's next week, so if you haven't signed up.
That's Friday.
This week.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Friday,
Yeah, so
right.
if you haven't signed up, you know, you won't, we're not, because it was 1 week in advance that you had to sign up.
And
It's
how many signed up? Do you
We have
know?
35, 36, something like
Oh,
that
okay.
already, yeah.
That gives us an idea for what we're making.
Right, well, this is it, because,
Wow.
and it, you know, we need to know the number, that's why we had to have the 1 week in advance, so that we would have enough, food for everybody. And it is Friday.
And who's making the turkeys, Jan?
Linda P. is, cooking it.
And she's gonna deliver it fully cooked and
Yep.
ready?
Yeah, what it is she's going to cook it at her house, and then she's gonna cut it up ahead of time. And, so then all we have to, we'll bring it here and then just heat it up in the oven, to keep it, warm, but she's not gonna bring the whole carcass and cut it, and that's too much work.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
great. And
Right.
the things, like I'm bringing the mashed potatoes and gravy, so I'll bring them hot from home. And then you can put them in the warmers perhaps and keep them warm as we're serving them,
Well, you can do that. I think it's 11 to, I'm not too sure.
1, I think.
11 to 1, so, if you can bring them just before, because, we only have the 3 warmers there, and, we'll start them. I'll start them, put the water in it and heat it up, but they're okay, for a little bit. They won't keep it hot though.
Yeah.
That's the one thing, the warmers.
we bring it piping hot from home, it should be ready to serve.
Right, if you can do that, it's better that way, because like potatoes and things like that, it's kind
And we
of,
did find those 2 warming trays when we cleaned out, remember those flat warming
the
trays?
flatbreads, yeah.
That worked.
That
We
would
did
be
find,
nice
yeah.
for
They did
Charlie's
work.
stuffing, yeah.
For what?
The big warming trays.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Electric, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
How many turkeys?
2
Two turkeys.
2 turkeys. And, so, it's pretty well, Linda has the list of what everybody's bringing, so that's good. We should have pretty good cranberry sauce and everything,
Yeah,
And
we
we
had
had
settled
plates.
that last meeting.
right? And then we have other people at the senior center, they're gonna be bringing stuff too,
Oh, good.
dessert and stuff, so it should be nice. And, and that's about it, because, the only thing is, this is our last meeting, because we don't have a meeting in December or January. And our next meeting will be, February the,
21st.
yes, yep. And that'll be the same time. Steve, do you have anything to say? Ed?
No, I just can add, I did attend that training for a week, with the state in Leominster, that I spoke about. It was like the next week.
How was that?
It was very good. There's still a lot of questions about the Camp Lejeune situation. We're seeing those commercials everywhere. So they told us we really can't tell veterans what to do, because it's like split. A veteran could choose to jump on board the attorneys. So we don't know how much money, how many millions of dollars or billions will be set aside for that. And right now, I think it's 150,000 veterans have signed up for it. So we don't know when it goes to court and what the court's gonna do. We know which direction the court's gonna go with that lawsuit, which has to be tried in North Carolina. So the issue that we have is, if they go through a lawsuit and they get a settlement, they can never go to the VA for treatment, say for the health condition, and they can't apply for a disability compensation. I've had a couple of veterans come in who sign up for it, but for me to do a claim, I have power of attorney. I have to get power of attorney for a claim. But they already have an attorney. That is their power of attorney. And I can't touch it. I legally cannot touch it. And I'm a VA accredited veterans officer, meaning I can take cases almost, actually it can end up in the Supreme Court. There's some veterans officers take cases have gone that far. I doubt that'll ever happen with me personally, but I am accredited to do that. So it's either one or the other. I feel personally, just my personal opinion, that it's best to go to VA route, you know, because then at least you'll have medical care, which will be for the rest of your life. And it could affect, your children could have been affected by this, or even your spouse. So, and you could end up with a disability compensation, which is tax exempt, it's tax-free. But if you get, so we don't know, it could be, say you get a couple $1,000s.
That
you know,
seems so
settlement.
wrong, that you sign and that you have to lose benefits you're entitled to get something you could be owed, and it's never gonna make people whole again.
Yeah, so what
You
happens
know, it
is-
just seems so wrong that they're putting
Yeah.
them in that position. They should be able to keep their veterans' benefits, et cetera. And
Is it only the people that join the class action lawsuit that are excluded?
That's correct.
Okay, so other veterans,
one or the other.
they can still get their compensation, but they can't be part of that class action.
oh, no, I understand
Yeah.
that, but
So-
to me, that's,
So I'll explain where it stands right now, because the lawsuit hasn't gone through yet. We don't know where the judge is gonna rule, but currently, right now, half of the disabilities that are connected to being stationed at Camp Lejeune with the poison water, half of them, it's only medical care. They don't offer, you know, disability compensation, okay? So you get this or you get that. That's currently the way it is. Like, some veterans get both. They get medical care and they get disability compensation, but
Yeah.
some of the ailments coming from it, all they offer is medical care with the VA, which I disagree with. All veterans should get, who are affected by these like lung cancer, these other things connected, and there's a list of them. They should both get, you know, medical treatment with the VA and then get disability
oh,
compensation.
I'm agreeing with you
Oh, yeah.
100%. It's,
But if you go and jump on the bandwagon with this lawsuit, and it agrees with what your situation is, what your condition may be, then they're gonna give you a lump sum of cash, a settlement. It's gonna be a settlement, like we see with other things. But once you go there, they can't ask the VA, listen, I wanna put in disability compensation, and I wanna get this and that. I actually don't think, I think they should probably do a claim with myself, and eventually it'll go through, and when it does go through, the VA's gonna have to accept, you know, the ruling, and then they'll be offered disability compensation. That's what we've been advised. But we really can't tell a veteran what to do. You know, they can do either or, but I do feel it's safer, it's more of a safety net to receive medical care, because you know how long you'll be here, what the medical treatment's gonna be, and we just don't know. I mean, they could end up getting $25,000, but that's not gonna last, how long is that gonna last, you know, rest of your life? So there are families that were stationed at Camp Lejeune, they're affected by it too. It's not just the veteran. It could have been the spouse at that time. I have some Marine Corps veterans that have talked to me even before this came up, that they have children who have effects from this poison water, because they were drinking the water just like they were. It wasn't just in the field, you know, they're training in the field and they're drinking water. Everybody stationed at Camp Lejeune from 1958 to 1987, actually almost in 88, is affected somehow. As long as they're there at least 30 days, they have been qualified to have been affected by the poison water. And it's horrible. It's a horrible, I was in the Army, but I do know a lot of Marines have been affected by it. The Navy has some effect. There are some soldiers who were affected who did some training there. But the bigger part of the force who's been affected has been Marine veterans. You know, they're the ones that took the toll on it. So anyways, so that was the training I went through, a part of it. And the other training was just on state benefits. I did a lot of training with state benefits and some on federal. You know, the burn pit, that's in the news as well. The burn pit situation, and they've added to the Agent Orange, you know, qualification as far as what they received from being exposed to Agent Orange either in Thailand or Vietnam, Korea, it was used. Even in the United States, there's a couple of bases it was used in the United States as well. So, but if a veteran has a question, they can call me if they're seeing this, or you meet veterans, you can tell them, just to see me, I can try to explain.
Yeah.
But Charlie, it is concerning, but it's a lawsuit, so once you sign up.
Oh, I
that's-
know that whole process,
Yeah.
but
And
it still
Shelley,
angers
yeah,
me.
She's so right, because that is so unfair, you
Yeah.
know, just because they want to join the lawsuit to get a
Yeah.
better,
Yeah.
you know, but that's so unfair that should disqualify them for any future benefits.
Funny, I want to consider road disqualification, they have a choice. They can either put in a claim, and so I have veterans, I did claims before, but the VA said, well, it's not proven that the exposure to Agent Orange is responsible for this heart condition, part of it, okay? And there's not much, there's not much I can do. But I take the claim, and it sits there, so it's denied, but it's still a record. Like the Board of Navy, they said they weren't exposed to Agent Orange, but they were off the coast of Vietnam, maybe 20 miles away on a ship, say aircraft carrier. They
My
said-
husband was.
Yeah, but they said they weren't exposed to blue water. And they changed it last year, so now they are exposed, but those people, even some that had passed away, their widow is now getting the benefit for that, because they agreed, so yes, they were exposed to it, and and now she's getting a disability compensation check that he should have received, and she got a lump sum, and then she's getting everything per month. So it's like all over the place. So it's a tough, trying to keep track of everything. But yeah, if you jump in a bandwagon and Congress had suspended what they generally don't allow, you're not allowed to sue the federal government. They suspended that. Congress did agree, and they suspended it, but it had to be tried in North Carolina. This is what this case is about. We just don't know where it's gonna go.
That takes some time, anything like
I think
that.
it-
They do that with a lot of lawsuits like that, yeah.
And you have 150,000 veterans involved with it, and some of them are coming to me who have nothing. They have no disability, so I have to tell them, I said, well, you need to have something to put a claim in. You just can't, just because you're stationed there, doesn't mean that you're gonna have something, that you're gonna get hurt. You know, I have some disabilities too that not all veterans had, during my time, and they don't have it either. There's people in Vietnam that have no cancer, they don't have the heart disease, they don't have different diabetes, they don't have these things yet. They may have it, and if they do have it, there's a good chance that it's been connected to exposure to Agent Orange, which is basically a herbicide. They call it Agent Orange because it was an orange stripe around the barrel. And that's why they call it Agent Orange. It's not one chemical by itself. It was a combination of different chemicals they used to get rid of vegetation. A lot of people come to my office and say, well, I have Agent Orange. Well, no, you don't have Agent Orange. What do you have? Because you're exposed to the chemical that was probably used in the area to which you were. So anyways, I don't take too much of your time, but that's what they review.
Well, it's wonderful you help all the veterans, from our area.
We
Thank you, Steve.
try.
And it's a shame it's not on the TV commercials that you're waiving your rights like that.
They want them to sign in because it's a moneymaker.
I know.
You can imagine if your attorney trying that and.
That's where it's so important, that they need to talk to somebody other than sign up to a lawsuit, talk to somebody what it really involves. And then, because otherwise, like I say, like you're saying, they may lose their benefit by signing
Well,
up.
it's even worse than that. The attorney will receive 40%.
Right, I remember you saying.
That's something we're not thinking about.
Across the top?
That's what it's saying. Now, you can negotiate a lower term, they're claiming. That's what they told us. They can negotiate a lower term, but generally they're looking for 40%. That's a lot. Well, I don't take anything. I don't take a penny. We take zero. We take zero compensation. We just help veterans, and we do all the paperwork. I process it. I work as a power of attorney as a representation of the veteran, so we don't get anything. And we can do basically the same thing, that they're doing. And we get help. We get help. So thank you.
Okay, one thing too is downstairs, that's why both Steve and I were late, because we were talking downstairs. And you know how it's always cold down there, and he did inform me that he has a problem with heat in his office too, so they are going to have a technician come in this Thursday to, try to set up the thermostat so that, because we deal with the elderly, that we can have some control over the temperature and not being on a computer in another building. You know, so hopefully
That would be great.
yeah, because I know like today the card players were there. And of course they come right up to me and said, what do we have to do to get heat? You know, so hopefully this week hopefully they'll start working towards solving that problem.
I did have something I wanted to bring up,
Yes.
and this is a possible collaboration with the Veterans Office. You may have done this, and you may do this frequently, but there's a Veterans American Heritage Museum in Hudson.
I've been there.
And I just thought, you know, we were talking about getting veterans who were seniors and, you know, something where we get the guys to come in too, in families or, you know, husbands and wives. And I was just thinking, they have a wonderful facility there that even I'd be interested in seeing something like that. And it's $18 a ticket, and we'd have to arrange for a bus. But if there was interest in something like that, you know, I think it would be a lot of fun. We'd have to do some fundraising for them, you know, because I have no idea. We don't know what we have, if we even have a budget. It never seemed like there was anything. But we could do fundraising for something like that and put something together, if you think it'll fly, you know, if that would be like a popular thing to do as a day trip.
That would
You
be
know, and
good.
maybe if we could even get a school bus. It doesn't have to be fancy transportation, but Hudson's, just the other side of Marlboro, so it's about 50 minutes away, so it'd be the bus ride. And, you know, maybe we could do something where if we have a whole bus that's going, a restaurant in the area, you know, something light and casual, not expensive, maybe work that in, that it's part of the trip too, where they'll go out to eat and, you know, I don't know, it's just a thought.
And we used to do it before with trips like that with the WRTA, so I'm hoping that soon that they will start,
Yeah,
you know, because of the COVID, they had stopped.
yeah,
But this year, I'm hoping that soon they'll be able to, we'll be able to hire them, rent them, you know, pay, you know, have for transportation for that. School buses, some of the elderly won't go on the school bus because they say it's too hard on their bodies.
Yep.
And that, but,
And there's no
that's a good
seatbelts.
idea. No, there.
I attended there a few years ago, and we actually had lunch there. I went there with the Worcester County Veterans Service Office Association I belong to, and we went there, you know. They have a lot of, you know, armor vehicles, a lot of military vehicles there, tanks, artillery, you know, what I did in the Army, and they enjoyed it. But we
Yeah.
actually had lunch right there.
yeah. Well, no, I don't, they said they don't have a cafe or anything.
I think we brought food in, we had a catering.
Oh, all right, maybe they have tables or something, but
Yeah.
I know they, on the website, they apologize for not having a cafe or whatever, but they mentioned there's a lot of, you know, restaurants in the general area, that type of thing. And the only other thing was, there's a couple of, like the airplane hangars, they're only open on specific,
Yeah.
they're not open all the time. But it would be like a 2-hour tour, and I don't know, I thought, oh, that would be something that might appeal, you know,
I think it'd be a
to,
great appeal, to be honest with you.
You know.
I think a lot of veterans would like to go.
In the spring, when the weather is so nice too, you know,
Yep.
it would be awesome.
I think it's a great idea, Charlie, to be honest with you. That's
okay.
that's a good idea.
If, you know, it just hit me, I went, oh, you know,
I could even ask probably some donations from the veterans groups in
Yeah.
the area, such as VFW, American Legion. See if they
senior
would-
tickets were, like I said, $18 a piece. And, you know, that's par for the course to go and see something, so it's not, they're not crazy expensive, you know. I don't know if they give any type of group discount, but we can always find that out, you know. But that was the senior discount, individuals, so I don't know. But we'll talk about that then in the future.
Right, when we get back in February.
What's the name of the facility again?
It's
Charlie?
called the Veterans American Heritage Museum.
It's in Hudson.
If you want to check it out, they do have a website, just Google it. It's in Hudson, Mass, which is right out of Stowe, next to Stowe, but, so it may come up under Stowe, but it's actually in Hudson. And they're open Tuesdays through Sunday, so a weekend is viable. 10 o'clock to 5. You can sleep in, Carmella.
See, that's good. Thank you, Charlie.
Do they need reservations ahead of time?
I would think if you're coming as a group, they might appreciate knowing, you know, and maybe they have something special for groups where you can get your own tour guide. I can always, if we do this, I can always ask and find out. And they said it's about a 2-hour visit when you go.
Yeah, that would be a good, early spring.
Yeah.
Early spring, not winter, but not late spring either, but,
And we talked about getting more men interested to come to the senior center, and that's a great way, you know, because a lot of the veterans.
I think
the
an
older ones-
introduction
Yeah.
that, you know, we'll do some stuff for you guys too. And if we can get the warm bodies to come, you know, and say, you know, what would you guys like to see? Maybe we could do a fishing derby, maybe, you know, loads of things.
A fishing derby fundraiser.
What's that?
Fishing derby fundraiser.
Yep. So, I mean, there's a, you know, a lot of possibilities out there.
right.
And,
good. That's
you
good.
know,
Because we haven't done any since COVID. We used to do
Yeah.
that, and we used to go out to,
Oh,
go
I
to someplace, and then
understand.
we'd go out to
Yeah.
lunch, eat, you know,
Yeah.
take the day,
yep.
that, so. And everybody enjoyed that, doing things like that.
And can I ask, was there any decision as to the Christmas donation?
No, we didn't have, I was
Instead of
supposed to
the
talk to
Salvation
them
Army?
this Monday, but we didn't have many people that came. So, I know that we thought we would just put a donation jar up and just have one for, you know, and maybe, you know, I am hoping, see, we have time anyways, and I will talk to them, and then I can call you and let you know what they think would be the best decision for them. And then I could call the three of you, or everybody on the council, and see what you think. Because we'll be meeting more people like on Thanksgiving and then after that. And then, because we're not gonna have any more meetings, so we can do it over the phone.
And also, another thing that I thought about, when we have our memory cafes, I have an adorable new puppy. And you know how people bring, you know, animals into nursing homes, etc. When we have like the memory cafe, she's
Yeah.
very friendly, kissy, and I think maybe something like that might be nice. It
Yeah.
would cheer up people who, you know, can't have a pet anymore.
Margaret used to bring her daughter's dog in with
Yeah,
us.
yeah, so that's a possibility. That doesn't cost any money,
No.
you know.
Yeah,
Um,
and oh my goodness, it's the cutest puppy you ever saw. A Great Pyrenees, so it's really, doesn't look like a puppy, it's big.
It's very,
Well, not that big already, it's only, it's a
gonna get
baby,
big.
but it will be
Yeah.
gigantic. But, you know, and that might be something fun, that as the dog grows, you know, they'll
Yeah, well,
see
this is
it,
it,
you
they'll
know.
notice a difference.
Yep,
Yeah.
so, I don't know, it's just, like I said, it doesn't cost anything to do that.
Yeah, that's good, that's good.
So,
It's a
and
good
it might be
idea.
enjoyed by, you know, especially the folks who have dementia,
Right.
you know. So,
so can you just do that? Can you just bring the dog? And then it's, like, you don't have to ask permission with the town or anything?
I wouldn't bring it when we have the Tri-Valley meals because they're serving food. But I don't think it would be a problem when it was just some, the memory cafe and,
Yeah.
just doing something casual. And then especially in the summer, the dog could come outside
When
and,
we use the
Summer would be
patio
nice,
upstairs.
yeah.
I guess what I'm saying, it's a great idea, but you don't have to have the town's permission to do that. You can just bring the
don't.
dog.
I don't think so.
No, Debbie can find that.
Because it's gonna be licensed.
Yeah.
It'll be licensed and have all its shots.
And next year, they're gonna be able to vote in the. Not next year, the year after for the 2024 elections, because everybody's licensed.
Yep.
And so that'll work out.
Yeah,
for the
so
dogs.
it's,
No, I'm just saying that because I'm a dog owner too.
yeah,
Yeah, and we do have to license.
yeah.
And he'll be, or she'll be a nice mascot
Yeah.
for the senior center.
So,
Oh, yeah.
just a little thought. Everybody, wants to see puppies and,
Yeah.
pet a friendly dog and, oh.
Does anybody else have anything else they want to bring up?
I didn't have anything else that I can think of.
Okay. Then does somebody want to make a motion to adjourn the meeting then?
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Anybody second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay. All in agreement?
Aye.
Okay. Any denials? Okay, it's been passed.